Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Taco Tuesday, July 25, last Tuesday of the month of July, just coming on 6 a.m. Bitcoin is flat, FTSE is flat, Nikkei is flat, Ethereum is flat. The 10-year is moving up a little bit with the US dollar as well. Crude seems to have run its run, as well as wheat. A few other things that we're tracking, but everybody, if your kids don't start playing soccer, football, as it's called outside of that little tiny country called the US, you better get them started. $776 million for 1 year. Break it down as they did here with stoppage time. 64.6 million a month, 14.7 million a week, 2.1 million a day, $24 a second. Get your kids playing football. SPX, 22 points. Green on the open, green on the gap up with a gap to fill. Gap to fill is 45.41, 45.36, 18.30 above the previous close, and this is now 2 green closes in a row. You all know that you have been here for some time, that we track the trends. Suspect, again, going into yesterday's email, the email is there as a cautionary email saying suspicious. There is in no fucking way in hell that I am this buy the fucking dip ahead of earnings bullshit. No. But it is a word of caution. Same reason why I put out that word of caution of being prudent. If you were in the QQQ 380 puts, they hit $10, prudent to take a little bit of profit off. So here we are. We're moving up for the month, 2.34%. We're still in the same range, 193 points. We're still 20% above the March bottom, which I covered over the last week. We're still 31% above the October bottom, and we've moved nowhere basically for quite a few days now. 22-point range on Monday, 19-point range on Friday. Somebody is going to get run over. With today having no economic data whatsoever other than the consumer confidence, it ain't going to happen today. So enough of this bullshit. Let's go move on to what is more important. The spreads. So again, because of not moving anywhere, not having too much of a VIX, not having the edges really be fantastic, went ahead and threw out there, the 45.80, 45.75. Early in the morning, it was only 50 cents. That's all that you got. Couldn't get any more than that later in the day. The 45.30, 45.25 puts, again, being a little bit risky considering the downside, but that was what was going to be there anyway, as was in the email earlier. You got about 17%. Today, we're looking right now with a +6 ES that we're opening around 45.60. So 13 sessions now without a -1% decline day. So you are counting that, and you better be counting it, and you better be paying attention to it. And this needs to be changed, 454.20. So these are your +1, -1% levels. I'm not expecting a +1%, 4,600. It ain't going to fucking happen. So I go to the QQQ, and QQQ, again, flat, a 1-point gap up. It did go and fill the gap as we posted the lower low, because lows don't happen on Fridays. Only a 3.24 range, and we closed below the open but above the previous close, and dead ass flat. Nothing was harmed, nothing was damaged over on the QQQ. However, we now have a 13-point drop, and we are now 3.5% down from the July highs from last week. So with Microsoft and Google reporting tonight, I will once again go out there and pound the table like Alex Jones. Do not put yourself in a problem. Trading earnings sucks. The premium is priced into the options. Greater than 19 out of 20, if you pay attention, they will open the next day inside of that price range, you will not make any money whatsoever. And that's the reason why the stock market is open the day after earnings, so that you can play the day after. Just like we did yesterday as we started with the Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza opened at $1. I think I put out $1.50 because I caught it a minute or two late because I had to do the safe edges on the SPX. Ran to 440, dropped down to 90 cents, ran up to $3. Domino's Pizza is open again today. And have you seen different techniques and strategies put out there? You got July 28, you got August 4, you got August 11. There is a plethora of space over there on Domino's Pizza, which I have right here. Boom. Domino's Pizza right over here came up to 400 a couple times and said, no, 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 sexy beast. And it came back down over here, back under 386, holding that 385 area. You've got 365 for your spike down on your ER. Your Uber news gap is at 349, and you still have McDonald's and Chipotle Mexican Grill to report this week, where something that they say can obviously have an effect on Domino's Pizza. Now, I'd like to bring you to Tesla. And if you've got kids around, you're worried about them, get them away from me right now. Tesla, coming in last week, as we talked that we were heading into earnings, we were expecting to see possibly getting to that 313 off of earnings to be able to short. Didn't get it. Had your earnings here, your big gap down from the earnings, and then we played the short side after the earnings. Thursday and Friday. Friday, you came down here to 255.80. Elon Musk rebrands Twitter to X. People go out and search Twitter videos and instead type in X videos, and the second most popular porn site crashes because everybody's typing in X videos. Twitter files are now X files, and nobody can figure out what you're calling it, if you're calling it tweeting or if you're calling it Xing. But over the weekend, anyway, Twitter went ahead and did this. And then we come in today, as we said over here on the bottom of your email yesterday. Dead cat oversold bounces after earnings. Tesla 50-day moving average is at 235. We're looking for 260. We should hit 268, 270. Boom, boom, boom. And where you are sitting at now, having done that strut down the catwalk, back up here at 274. Now, you are quite a ways away still from this very, very, very long-term falling trend line. So, like you were asking me yesterday prior to the open, Lowell, no, I do not like the Tesla short here, even though it has reached where I expected it to go bounce to. I would still let it go up a couple more points before I would start being confident about getting into a short when we start coming into that resistance line. So now, off of that, QQQ came down to that gap, did not fill it. Very oversold, very much this gap up here that's left from last week, which is there to be respected because we have Microsoft, we have Google, we have the FOMC meeting, we have Meta. There's 4 different cannons, bazookas, that can get shot out that can bring us for a 5, 7, 8, 10-point rally over on the QQQ, which can then be reshorted again. It's there. I'm not saying that I believe in it, but I'm saying that it's there. And I'll share with you in the email an option that you have if you want to be involved in Microsoft, Google, Meta, FOMC, and the fact that this has a big gap up here, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than if you're going to go out there and try and play Microsoft, Google, or Meta individually. VIX, we're not up at 1451. We have these two gaps, one from the weekend and one now overnight. Again, when there are these gaps below on the VIX, I am personally not extremely confident that we are going to get a move to the downside on the SPX. What I am looking at on that is that this gap should definitely be filled. If we lose this 1387 pivot, then I would obviously be expecting that we're going to be revisiting last week's or yesterday's lows, which would mean the SPX has room to run. Nobody's reporting today. We only have consumer confidence. But yet, anyway, I threw out yesterday because we were getting a little bit itchy that, you know what, instead of doing a 0 DTE, let's just do a 1-day DTE because we've been waiting for this to pop up. The 45.80, 45.75s for today, they were at $1.50. They're now trading right around $1.30. Now, I'll bring you in again to your data. You have two green closes. Your highs are 45.78, and you've been above 45.65 that one time, which was on July 19th. The very next day, after July 19th, is when you had your minus 2% session over on the QQQ, minus 2.5%, 2.57. Big drop off the very next day. Come over there onto your SPX, and we have not had a minus 1% session. I'm not saying that we are going to get a minus 1% session today, but we have not had one. So this is out there. It was out there yesterday. It's out there for today. We don't have the safe edges yet because we haven't opened up yet, but it's out there. It's out there for today for a very strong, decent amount of credit. Now, you want to make some money. Then we start looking for the red close. Buying the 45.60 calls, selling the 45.55 calls. You're getting almost $3. Almost $3 right now. Your close is 45.54. 45.54.64. So anything below that, you're getting a red close. Now, you still have this gap, 45.41, 45.36. So
Okay. Hey, all right, big man. You want to make some big bucks. Let's see how tough you are.
This is the trade that you want to be taking if you don't want to be a fucking dishwasher. You're not a baggage hound. You're here to make money. And more importantly, we're here to make sure that we make a hell of a lot of money as we go into this weekend because this is going to be a big week. And like I said, you're getting prepared for a much, much, much bigger show that's just around the corner.